Hello and welcome to the Poundland Bescot Stadium as we kick off the fifth round of the Adobe Women's FA Cup with an all-women's Super League affair. It's Aston Villa against Brighton and Hove Albion, and a place in the quarter-finals is up for grabs. Both of these sides were semi-finalists 2 seasons ago, but with Brighton reaching the quarters in 4 of the last 5 seasons, the Seagulls' recent cup pedigree arguably makes them favourites on paper. They, of course, also beat Villa 4-2 in the league earlier this season on the south coast. But Villa looked much improved under their new boss, Natalia Arroyo, last weekend, and will see this as a catalyst to turn their stop-start season around. Which of these two sides can take another step closer to Wembley this afternoon? So no fresh injury concerns means that Natalia Arroyo can field an unchanged side from last weekend's confidence booster. Jill Bying scored on her FA Cup debut, while Gabby Nunes marked her competition bow with her first Villa hat-trick against Bristol Rovers. Rachel Daly's brace in the last round was her 3rd of the season. The first came in October's 4-2 defeat to Brighton. Maisie Simmons' controversial dismissal against Palace sees Yorelin Garabali come into the Brighton backline. The Colombian is one of 2 changes from the weekend, with Nadine Nordam handed her Brighton debut after last month's move from Ajax. Paulina Bremer drops to the bench to accommodate the Dutch international. Nikita Paris has 21 goals in 39 FA Cup appearances. She's scored now for 5 different clubs in the competition. So there are, of course, 2 fresh faces for the Adobe Women's FA Cup in the dugouts today. Dario Vidosic's first game in charge of this competition saw Brighton hit 4 goals past Durham last month. For Natalia Arroyo, it's an FA Cup debut. Her side were, of course, just 8 minutes away from taking 2 points off Chelsea last weekend. The Spaniard will be hoping a change in competition brings her first victory since taking over 2 weeks ago. Melissa Bergin is in charge this afternoon. She's a former footballer. She was actually released by Sheffield United as a 15-year-old. So she turns to refereeing Sunday league games to get her football fix. And just over 10 years later, she's one of the rising stars of this women's select group. Today, she's assisted by Leonie Harlands, Lauren Whiteman. Hannah Gardner is the 4th official. Saw the 2 captains there shaking hands ahead of kick-off as well. With 8 goals this season, Rachel Daly is leading by example as Villa's top goal scorer. Vicky Losada's influence is much more understated, but the dynamic midfielder can always be depended on for her experience. She lifted this trophy with Arsenal 9 years ago. So, a place in the last 8 of this competition awaits, and after a false start, we will finally get underway. Will it be Villa getting their revenge for October's game, or will Brighton reach the quarter-finals for the 3rd year in a row? It is always good to have the Adobe Women's FA Cup back, and it is a pleasure to be bringing it to you live on the Adobe Women's FA Cup YouTube channel, where you can find the pick of select games and, of course, full match replay and all of the highlights too. It is set to be quite the weekend of football. Away by Patton early on. You can already see Brighton's intent to press high up the pitch. Yorelin Garabali's inclusion in the back line has seen Maria Torstadter switch over to a left-sided centre-back role. It means that Poppy Pattinson can return to left wing-back, and it's her throw-in, which is eventually dispossessed by Lucy Parker. Torstadter. Another player in the Brighton side who has lifted the FA Cup before. She was a 2018 winner with Chelsea. At the final 20 minutes of the showpiece event at Wembley. Few early touches there for Jill Byings, who did have to wait 191 days before making her debut following her loan move from Bayern Munich. Had a horrible time with injuries, but since returning to action has already won 16 duels this season, 16 recoveries as well. She is a combative midfielder, and she showed as well against Bristol Rovers last time out that she's got a finishing touch too. Mailing on the charge. Delivery was looking for Nunes. It didn't want to take any chances. It will be an early set piece for Aston Villa. Jill Byings with the ball in. Lack the direction and the height to trouble this Brighton back line, but Anna Patton will look to keep things alive. Harris emerges with the ball. And McLaughlin was looking for Nordam's on-rushing run there. It very nearly caused a bit of trouble for Patton and D'Angelo. Just about managed to sort it out between the two of them. Byings. Daly with a lovely first touch to kill that ball as it was travelling. Picks out Hansen. Invited to shoot. And it was pushed to safety by Melina Lurk. She never needs to be told twice, does she? Kirsty Hansen, always looking to cut in fields and test the goalkeeper. And on that occasion, just stinging the palms of the German between the sticks for Brighton. Jordan Knops will this time assume set-piece responsibility. 5 minutes in. Delivery's better. Now only as far as Noelle Maritz, and Patton's there. Brighton with numbers behind the ball. It wasn't pretty, but it was effective defending by the Seagulls. Hansen. Away by Karabali. Hansen was well offside, and she knew it too. Villa have certainly started this game looking like the more dangerous side. They do come into the game on a 3-match winless streak. However, the last two haven't been particularly kind to them. Man City away and then Chelsea at home. But as mentioned, it was an encouraging display against the reigning WSL champions. Daly. Again, just slightly too early with the run. you saw there was just how quick the Villa players are to flood forwards. It's very much part of the philosophy that Natalia Arroyo wants to bring into this side. Daly, that's over the top again, one for Nunes to run after. Daly, it's the first chance for her. That's well blocked. Brighton are certainly defending deep inside their penalty area. It's a couple of occasions now where they've had to get a vital block in. Paris may just be away. Once more though, the flag goes up. There was a minor concern in the warm-up following a heavy collision with one of her teammates. Nikita Paris did require just a bit of treatment. She certainly wasn't moving too freely. She seems to have shaken that particular knock off. It'll be interesting to see whether it does have an effect as the game goes on. She was down for a couple of minutes. Just about kept in by Sarah Maley. Brilliant touch there to take it in her strides. And Hansen, it was pulled back for, but as is probably becoming a little too frequent for our liking, the offside flag is up yet again. McLaughlin. Hansen pressing high, taking the ball away from Karabali. Does she have the quality to pick the pass? It was Daly, the recipient. And again, Brighton well placed to clear. Paris. Away from her good friend Jordan Nobbs and able to run this right-hand channel. Chankovic. Jordan Nobbs, herself a four-time FA Cup winner. This is actually her 16th FA Cup campaign of her storied career. She reached the 2009 final with Sunderland when she was just 16 years old. They were beaten by Arsenal in the final, but Arsenal saw enough in her to make that permanent transfer. She has found a home for herself here in the West Midlands with Aston Villa. Marix. Dealt with by Lucy Parker. These two sides have met in the FA Cup before. It was the fourth round back in the 2020 season. And Brighton won by 3-2. All three of those goals were scored in the first half. And there was plenty of goalmouth action as well when these two met in the WSL back in October. Brighton coming out 4-2 winners. 4 different goal scorers, whereas Rachel Daly netted twice for Aston Villa, but both sides were also reduced to 10 players. Paula Thomas and Poppy Pattinson showing reds. So while it is goalless now, certainly on paper, everything indicates it might be a lively match, this. Given away by Nobbs. McLaughlin. Jankovic. It's the best spell of possession Brighton have had. Nunes has carried the ball out to play. D'Angelo has been an ever-present for Aston Villa this season. So 18th starts of the campaign and Aston Villa's 18th game of the campaign. Nice work by Kirsty Hansen. He spent a little bit too long on the ball there. Masada can weigh up her options before finding Kadabali. Give and go between her and McLaughlin, but unable to feed Paris. Bynes. Wayward from Nobbs. Villa do hold on to possession. Nice turn, under pressure by Nadine Northam. As described by manager Dario Vidicic as a versatile and high-energy midfielder. She was on the bench against Chelsea, didn't quite make it onto the pitch. It's a searching pass. Aston Villa may be in here. An early chance, perhaps, for Chastity Grant. Just couldn't apply the finishing touch. Hansen, though, can keep the attack going, although she was well tracked back in the end by Yorelin Karabali. Bynes taking control of the situation in midfield and is able to stretch her legs a bit and look for Nunes, but that one will run all the way through for Melina Lurk. Lurk under pressure. Gabby Nunes very nearly profiting. We know that she's a lively, busy striker. Lurk wasn't quite alert to the Brazilian sniffing around. That has certainly put a spring in Aston Villa's step. Nobbs. Bynes just losing her footing. And Asada with a no-look pass, picking out Nikita Paris. Now Madison Haley. First we've seen of her in this game. Her shot was charged down by Sarah Mailing. Jankovic wanted a free kick. Nothing given by Melissa Bergin, and Villa can break. Hansen. Nobbs wanted it quickly. So too did Noelle Maritz. Hansen's ball. Grant will keep this one in play at that far post. Bynes. To her left foot to have a go, and Rachel Daly was waiting. Nunes goes down. Villa wants a penalty. Goal kick. Here is the incident. It was McLaughlin who had a bit of a coming together there with Gabby Nunes. Melissa Bergin, the referee, had a good view of it. Was happy that the contact was not enough for a penalty. Nobbs. Maritz. Need to play down this left-hand side by Aston Villa. Lasada. Thomas Dottir wanted a few more options there. The Norwegian defender was just looking for a run over the top. Aston Villa were, for a moment or two, playing quite a high line. Losada. Bergsvans. Karabali was invited to step out of defence, but it was Kirsty Hansen who halted her progress. Given away by D'Angelo. Madison Haley. Reverse pass for Cankovic. There's Paris, and it was Parker sliding in crucially to keep the England international at bay. We haven't got into the Aston Villa penalty area on too many occasions, Brighton and Hove Albion. Probably look back at that as quite a clear-cut opportunity. Losada. But are much happier to slow things down to their own tempo here. Noordam. Quick feet by the Dutch midfielder. Losing out to Byings. Searching pass, very nearly picked out. Grant on that far side. There's two Dutchies, almost threading together a perfect bit of play. Stottett taking a chance there. Cankovic. Scott McLaughlin chasing. So too is Maritz. Karabali will win the free kick. So they have found it slightly trickier to get themselves into Aston Villa's final third, but this is a key opportunity for them. Set pieces. And in Vicky Losada and Jelena Cankovic, they have two very, very cultured deliveries of the ball. Losada. Cankovic's ball in. Oh, goodness me. That will go down as a huge miss. Well, Cankovic's cross in was nodded on at that near post, and it was Maria Thorstottir with the goal gaping. Wasn't able to convert, and I have to say, this is the wrong decision from the referee. The final touch was definitely off a Brighton player, but they have been awarded a corner. And And it's going to be controversial if this leads to anything. Brighton again with the usual suspects over it. Losada onto her left foot. Held in dangerously again, and Sabrina D'Angelo will claim and just relieve a bit of stress on that Villa back line. But it's by far the best chance that we've had in this game. Brighton should be a goal in front. What have Villa got in way of response? Paris. Nordam. McLaughlin. And opposite was sliding across. Paris will continue to hustle and harry. And Nordam's in behind, and somehow Sabrina D'Angelo takes that one away from Jelena Cankovic. Very nearly squeezing in at that near post. We've seen a short free kick, we've seen a short corner. It's as though we're going to get another. Still, Villa only commits one defender. Cankovic. Blocked by Knobs, half-hearted appeals for a handball. Losada follows up. And Villa clear. And look at Grants leading the charge. We're approaching the half-hour mark here at the Poundland Bescott Stadium. Still nothing to separate these two Women's Super League sides. Has been a little untidy at times. Lacking that bit of quality, but what do Aston Villa here have on the left-hand side? Byings. Hansen. Daly goes sliding in. Of course, WSL League positions would suggest that Brighton were the favourites coming into this game. They are 5th in the WSL after the opening 13 games of the season. However, they are currently on a 5-game winless run, dating back to West Ham United in November in that competition. And that came after securing 13 out of the opening 18 points that were available to them from the first 6 WSL games of the season. The only team to beat them during that stretch was Manchester City. They have found a bit more solace in cup competition in recent weeks. As for Aston Villa, 10th out of 12 in the Women's Super League. But on the front foot here, Byings may fancy this herself. It was always rising. Melina Lurk was confident that she got her angles right. It's an example of what the Bayern loanee can do. Pattern. Slight concern. It looks like it may be a blood injury. She will be made to patch it up before returning to the pitch. And interestingly, Melissa Bergin says this is not a drinks break. Get back on the pitch.
Again. Hey, ball. Time, get some time. Other side, Guru. Make sure calm down. Jordan, calm down. Hey, calm down.
Toss, that's it. Out to Pattinson. Haley. Now Lasada. Oldham's ball may just work out for Rachel McLaughlin, although Sabrina D'Angelo yet again had a very good starting position. Given away, Haley finding Paris, turning into trouble. Anna Patton's going to be booked here. Now this is an interesting one. It feels as though the insinuation is that she returned to the pitch before being waved back on by the officials. So it looks as though Brighton have been handed a free kick, as Patton shouldn't have been on the pitch at the time. You don't see that all too often, do you? It is a very, very appealing area, this free kick. Certainly enough space to get that one up and over the wall, or just go for sheer power. And the players that they have stood over the ball, Vicky Lasada, Jelena Cankovic, also got Yoralin Karabali. They fancy this one too. Poppy Pattinson just walking away now. But this one, they just need to test Sabrina D'Angelo, Brighton. Karabali leaves it, as does Masada, who wasn't happy with Lucy Parker. It will be Cankovic, who's charged down. very quickly by Villa's defenders. Carabali. Daly was late into Lasada. Bergsman's switch of play was easily dealt with, and Jordan Moss tried to set Grant forward on a counter-attack, but it's Madison Haley who may profit here. Still going, Haley! Straight edge to Angelo. Once she gets going, Madison Haley, she is very difficult to stop. Rode the first challenge and the second. Would have wanted to have done better with the strike. Flicked on by Paris. Byings to Daly. Now Nobbs. Better one-touch play by Aston Villa, although Kirsty Hansen may have just held on to that ball a bit too long. Daly had strayed into an offside position, and the momentum from that particular attack has gone.
Get up, up. Now drop a little.
Nobbs. Out for Mailing. Nordau. The ball bounces away from Lasada, who's now out of position too. Nobbs, plenty of options. Guides it in towards Nunes. It's a brilliant save. Melina Lurk with a vital fingertip to prevent Gavi Nunes from getting on the score sheet in the FA Cup yet again. And that is the closest that Villa have come. Now they'll look to try to turn up the heat that bit more. The latest corner to be delivered by Jordan Nobbs. And the players down in the penalty area, Carabali and Rachel Daly tussling. Can Brighton spring a counter-attack? Haley. Maybe falls slightly wider than she would have liked. Up against Sarah Mailing. And Rachel Daly, ever industrious in that midfield, was there to snuff out the danger. Nunes brings Hansen into play. Lovely take on the turn. The Scotland international who gets into the penalty area, goes down under the challenger Carabali, and it was a very early, clear, decisive point for a goal kick by Melissa Bergin. It's the second time that Villa have had a player down inside the Brighton and Hove Albion penalty area, and the second time that their appeals have been dismissed. Aston gives it straight to Haley. Jankovic. Paris to her left. Paris finds Pattinson, and D'Angelo will prevent that from going out for a corner kick. Haley. Handled over by Vicky Losada. Sada turns away from Knobs, two players who know each other very well from their time in North London. Here is Losada, and there's space for Pattinson. His ball into Paris wasn't the worst, but Paris will still profit it, and does. Brighton take the lead right on the stroke of half-time, and of course it's Nikita Paris, one of the competition's finest strikers in its history, does it again. It looks as though for a second the chance may have been over, but Lucy Parker completely made a mess of her clearance and gifted a shot on goal for Nikita Paris, who scores her 8th goal of the season. 22 goals now in 40 FA Cup appearances. Brighton lead in the West Midlands. Nunes. Villa will want to hit straight back. Just 1 minute of additional time at the end of this first half. And they've got themselves a corner. Jordan Nobbs again across to take it. Daly, Patton, the obvious target. Knobs his ball in, goes to that near post, and it will be tapped home. Villa hit back instantly, and it's Anna Patton. Well, they're only behind for a matter of seconds. And Patton makes amends for a centre-back partner's mistake. Just went all the way through, Brighton failing to deal with it at the near post. Lurk came a long way off her line too. Anna Patton won't score an easier goal. And that is the final act of a first half that was largely relatively quiet on the chances front. It was Maria Torsdottir who went very close early on. Gabby Nunes had a header tipped over the bar, but it really sprung into life in the final 2 minutes or so of that first period. First Nikita Paris, and then Anna Patton on the score sheet, which means at half-time we go into the break. Aston Villa 1, Brighton 1. And mean that they went into the break all square. As I mentioned just before we went to those adverts at half-time, there is sure to be plenty more action in this second half, so do not look away. because there are always goals when these two sides meet. Of course, a reminder, if it does stay level, we will be heading to extra time. If it then stays level after the additional half hour, we will be heading to penalties. And back underway we go. Villa, of course, started the first half, the brighter side. It'll be interesting to see whether or not that's going to be the case this time around. Brighton seems full of momentum, having scored the goal right in the 45th minute of that first half. And obviously, all of that joy was soon sapped from them. Now they have to get up and go again in their second half. Nora. Parker. Good pass to pick out Mailing. He wasn't able to keep it in play. Haley, who grew in influence as that first half went on. She started the second. Keen to get involved too. Free ball, looking for Nikita Paris. Angle was always going against her. Unable to take that one in her stride. Back by Karabali. Albion finds Nadine Nodam. McLaughlin. Brighton's 4-1 win over Durham in the fourth round was their first win of the calendar year. It was the first in all comps since the 6-2 win against Bristol City back in December. They have struggled this season against WSL opposition in the cup competitions, having beaten the likes of Birmingham, Bristol City and Durham. They drew against Leicester and they lost against Arsenal, of course, in the League Cup quarter-final.
Back here though. Ref, it's back here though.
It's all very tight in that midfield area, especially right down in front of us. Daly. Bynes. Knox is able to use Villa's extra player out to that left-hand side, who is Noel Maritz. Byings finds Grant. Nobbs trying to float one in for Rachel Daly, who of course can apply the finishing touch. Once again, their captain leads by example, and for the first time in this FA Cup tie, Aston Villa take the lead. But it's all about the quality of the cross here. Jordan Nobbs putting it on a plate for our captain, who just had to guide that one into the bottom corner. Well, we spoke about how quickly Aston Villa started the first half. Well, it's taken them about 5 minutes now to turn this tie on its head. Rachel Daly up to 9 goals this season. 3 of those have come against Brighton. Their poor start to the season, Aston Villa, has been well documented, taking just 2 points from their opening 6 WSL games. Of course, Sean Gota then steadied the ship with 2 wins from the 5 games he was in interim charge. Last time out, though, under Natalia Arroyo, they did produce probably their best WSL performance of the season to shut out Chelsea for the best part of 80 minutes. Unfortunately, it was an own goal that cost them from Sarah Malik. This afternoon, they have played some nice stuff. Of course, the final ball, for the most part, has left a little to desire, but on that occasion, it was right on the money. And Jordan Nobbs has 2 assists to her name in this game. McLaughlin was stripped. Bergsfeld. Will give chase there, beaten to it by Lucy Parker. Seems like a long time ago now, Lucy Parker's mistake that led to Brighton taking the lead. So much can change so quickly in these FA Cup ties, that's for sure. Haley loses out to Sarah Malik. Brighton keep coming though with Pattinson. Well read by Patton. Nunes is the option at the far post if Grant can find her, but she's going to go alone. And we're finishing like that, why wouldn't you? But she made an instant impact in the last round, scoring with her first touch after coming on against Bristol Rovers. Now this one here, look how well she's taken that. Smashing it into that far corner across Melina Lurk. And what a good few weeks it has been on a personal level for Chastity Grant. Took her a while to find her goal-scoring form in an Aston Villa shirt. She's now got 3 goals in her last 5 games as Maria Torsdottir collects a yellow card. Well, Brighton desperately need a response now before this game gets away from them. Villa have been efficient with their finishing. They do have some real quality in their attack too. Here's Byings. Daly. Here is Grant, scorer of the Villa 3rd goal. Mailing. Nobbs hooked in again. And there's Rachel Daly, and it's straight into the arms of Melina Lurk. Sweeps up. And here's Jordan Nobbs again. Byings caught in possession. Masada able to craft a free kick for her side. She was caught late there by her opposition captain, Rachel Daly. So we saw an immediate response to Brighton going a goal ahead at the end of that first half. This is as good a chance as any for the Seagulls to get themselves back into this tie. Lasada's right, Morchankovic is left. Chankovic. There's Haley arriving, and it was taken off her head by Sabrina D'Angelo. Plenty of pace on it, maybe just needed a bit more whip to take it away from the on-rushing goalkeeper. Paris controlled that ball with her up. The FA Cup hasn't been a happy hunting ground of a competition for Aston Villa in recent seasons. Of course, they did reach the semi-final 2 years ago where they were knocked out by Chelsea, but in 4 of the last 5 seasons they have been knocked out in the 4th round. So reaching the quarter-finals this time around, doing so only for the 2nd time in the last 7 years, will be a significant step forward for them as a team, and will certainly give Natalia Arroyo the optimism that she needs to continue to right the wrongs that have gone against Aston Villa this season. Haley using her strength and has actually pulled up for it. And the American can't believe it herself. Mannix. It's a lovely turn by Nikita Paris. Nordau using out to Nobbs. Prodded on by Daly. So outside of the boot pass to find Hansen, who couldn't keep her effort down. That by Mailing. Now Maritz. Nunes. Villa just trying to make the pitch as big as possible, getting Brighton to do all the running. Very much in control of this Adobe Women's FA Cup 5th round tie. Oh, that was a risky pass to play. Lasada, Haley with a chance, and shut down very quickly by Anna Patton. Given straight back to the Seagulls, though. Daly cleans things up. There's a late challenge on her as well, which Melissa Bergen will pull back play for. Number 9 on number 9, Nikita Paris was the guilty party there. The first change for Brighton sees Diana Stefanovic come on in midfield in place of Nadine Nordam. We're also going to see Maritza Lislekas coming on too. As well as Paulina Bremer. Who did score Brighton's second in a 4-2 win over Aston Villa on match day 3 of the Women's Super League. 2 changes for Aston Villa there too. Mary Taylor and Katie Robinson both coming onto the pitch. Katie Robinson, of course, who will know Brighton very, very well. Spent 4 years on the South Coast. She actually signed her first professional deal back in 2020. Patton gets us back underway. 2 much changed sides now. Banks. Robinson. Sees a run at Pattinson. Daly unable to get there ahead of Melina Lurk. Back by Nunes. Space now for Kirsty Hansen to drive into and make it 4. Pushed away by Melina Lurk. was as good an opportunity as Kirsty Hansen has had to add to her 2 goals this season. She had the German stopper at full stretch. So Byings will deliver from this set piece. This was the way that Aston Villa began their scoring this afternoon. These situations, and this time it's punched away by Lurk. Byings with a second bite at the cherry. Robinson urged on here to try to keep this attack alive, but marshalled out of play by Pattinson. Given away. Byings. Daly. Hansen. Robinson not quite had arrived at the far post. Here's Paris, in behind, into the penalty area with an opportunity for a second, and she responds. You can always count on Nikita Paris. She may have just handed Brighton away back into this tie. It was Haley's through ball, and once Paris got going, it was very difficult for Patton to make up the ground. Still had a lot of work to do, the England striker, but made it count. Her second goal of the afternoon is one which could prove pivotal in this tie. Of course, Brighton won the WSL meeting by 4 goals to 2. And the last time they met in the FA Cup, 4 years ago in the 4th round, it was Brighton who won by 3 goals to 2. Aston Villa had flipped that scoreline on its head. But with just over 15 minutes to play, there is a sense here that Brighton could stage quite an incredible comeback. It's the second time this afternoon that Anna Patton has required some treatment. So we had the issue of blood coming from her nose in the first half. This one far more muscular. And hopefully it's not too much of a concern. Villa do have Danielle Turner on the bench, of course, an experienced centre-back who has played in 2 FA Cup finals for Everton during her 15-year stint on Merseyside. Should Aston Villa not want to risk Patton for the remainder of this game. seeing with the strapping that's being applied, she may be looking to play the final 15. Taylor. Parker under pressure. It's been won back by Brighton. Stefanovic to Ollie Slackers. Haley. Much more urgency in these Brighton attacks. Paris initially held off Taylor and then eventually went down under the challenge. She's asking if she's nowhere near the ball. Surely that's a yellow card as Anna Patton falls to the ground again. I think that will be the end of her afternoon. It is Danielle Turner who comes on in her place. Haley trying her luck against Smalingers, getting the better of her too. Stefanovic, quick shift onto her left foot and trying to set up Ollie Slackers. That one eventually will be dealt with by Sabrina D'Angelo. Brighton still do have options to throw off the bench in attacking positions. Michelle Ajimang, the obvious one. Kiko Seka as well. Robinson beaten to it by Ollie Slackers. Strong challenge by Guro Bergsvans. Just over 10 minutes for Brighton to find themselves another goal. They desperately need possession of that ball. It's been made a mess of there. Brighton did have enough covering defenders, but Jill Byings will emerge with possession. And go for goal herself, but that one well off target. Haley was brought down. Mailing will receive a yellow card for her efforts there. Has been somewhat of a topsy-turvy game, this one. Will there be one final twist? Here is that change then. Jelena Cankovic coming off. Michelle Ajimang on in her place. And you may have heard the instruction there from Dario Vidicic in the dugouts, telling Nikita Paris to play more as a number 10. And let Ajimang do the run in behind into the channels as well. Stefanovic. You do need a goal scorer to come on. Michelle Ajimang's probably fits into that criteria, especially in the FA Cup. Her goal against Durham from the penalty spot means that she's now scored in the 4th round in the last 3 seasons. And she's done so for 3 different clubs: Arsenal, Watford and Brighton. She also scored the 4th goal in the 4-2 win earlier this season for the Seagulls against Villa. Now they just need to supply. Field by Parker. Hansen did well to take it with her, and again Brighton looking quite dangerously at the back. There goes Ajimang. Mary Taylor spotted the run very early and did well to keep pace. Stefanovic. Torsdottir, robbed by Daly. Doesn't have too many options with her. She will just hold up play slightly and wait for support to arrive. And that one is asking a lot of Kirsty Hansen. And the reaction from the Villa skipper tells you all you need to know and how frustrated she is there. Bergsvans happy to just clear her lines on that occasion. Easily dealt with in the end by Danielle Turner. Just a reminder that there is still plenty of live action to come this weekend on the Adobe Women's FA Cup YouTube channel, starting this evening. We'll be live streaming Manchester United's trip to Wolves. Game kicks off at 5:30. And then tomorrow there's going to be multi-view. Plenty of games on offer, including a London derby between Arsenal and London City Lionesses. Those matches are also available on the FA Player this weekend. That's going to be the end of Rachel Daly's afternoon as she passes on the captain's armbands. It looks as though Gabby Nunes is on her course as well. So welcome back to action for Missy Beaucairns. First game back against WSL opposition since November. Ebony Salmon also coming onto the pitch. There goes Hansen. Salmon with her first touch. Saw her efforts drift just wide. Paris. Ajibang. Facing up the defenders. Bremer forced a little wide there and in the end has to settle for a corner. Caitlin Hayes is the latest Brighton player to join the pitch. Should add as well in the flurry of changes that we had. It's her Brighton debut. She is one of a few at the far post. An 89th minute corner. Her new side down by 3 goals to 2. What an introduction this would be. It is angled towards her and it's Paris back in. Still not cleared. Surely there was a foul in there, indeed there is. Now the Brighton players must begin the long run back to their defensive positions. was all a little untidy in there, Agumang, with the first infringement, I think. There may have been a couple more in there. Frustrating for those Brighton players. Agumang looking for Nikita Paris. The ball will still break favourably here for Brighton. We're very much in now or never territory. A late challenge from Miri Taylor on Stefanovic. And a rolling ball means Brighton will probably use this as an opportunity to send this free kick towards the penalty area. Time running out. Hayes. Fantastic pass that is to pick out Bremer. He's going to go alone and just couldn't keep the shot down. He'd want someone of her quality in those sorts of areas, but 2 or 3 players in Brighton shirts inside the penalty area. Maybe a cross would have been the better solution. Villa will be happy to just run the clock down as much as they possibly can. It looks like they're heading towards ending their 3-game winless run. And there is still time for a bit more nervy defending back there. Haley. Able to turn away from Taylor. Byings is there, strong in the challenge. And there goes Salmon with an opportunity surely to wrap it up and send Aston Villa through. Lurks the tool. And Brighton get themselves back down the other end of the pitch. Agumang gives chase. And wins her side a throw-in. The 3rd minute of stoppage time here in this FA Cup 5th round tie. Agumang. Stefanovic loses out to Byings. It is an agonisingly long wait for Aston Villa. And there's space now for Haley, although the offside flag had gone up, and you do wonder whether that's now will just have killed the tempo of the latter stages of this game and mean Aston Villa will be safe in advancing to the next stage of this competition. Anywhere will do for these Villa players as they go in search of the corners. They'll use another set piece as an opportunity to just eat up a few more valuable seconds for Brighton. It's a cheap free kick to give away, especially at this late stage in the game, and Brighton need to get themselves going as quickly as possible. Cycus was met there very high up the pitch by Banks, who does get a customary yellow card. Stefanovic to send this one forwards. It's a lovely first touch by Madison Haley. Scrambled away by Turner. Covering defender. It's Guro Bergsvans, who's now out of position, and it's Ebony Salmon up against Poppy Pattinson. She won't go for goal, more than happy to just take that to the corner. Gads right in the challenges. And she thought Ebony Salmon had gone with her. Is there enough time for one final opportunity? It's Caitlin Hayes with the throw-in. Stefanovic. Aston Villa have done it. They are back into the Adobe Women's FA Cup quarter-finals for only the second time in the last 6 seasons. It wasn't pretty at times, and they really had to work for it. But in the end, it is their clinical finishing that has made the difference against a resurgent Brighton side in this second half. Despite 2 goals from Nikita Paris, goals from Anna Patton, Rachel Daly and Chastity Grant as well, have meant that Aston Villa go into the hats for the final 8 of this competition. The draw, of course, will be live on this YouTube channel on Tuesday at 6:30. with ties taking place on the weekend of March the 9th. Aston Villa will be there. Brighton will need to regroup and get ready to go again. Full time here is Aston Villa 3, Brighton and Hove Albion 2.